Alright, so hello everyone. This is my first time doing this, so please bear with me really quick. I just feel I need to speak about this. I had the thought of streaming it, but I would like to test this right now, especially since I am working on stuff for my newsletter, so I could kind of multitask while doing both things. Anyways, it's November 17th, 2025 at 5:03 a.m. I'm going to be going over essentially a video I saw that I feel is very important. It's by Truth Stream Media on YouTube. The title of the video is called "This is Spiritual Warfare." All of it, period. Kind of dramatic, but the content, I've already watched like at least half of it, so I feel the content is very actually the title is it's underplaying it. Actually, it's underselling it, how crazy this content is. And yeah, we're gonna be going over it. I hope you forgive me too, because I have been drinking, so yeah, I'm not gonna be as cognizant as I should be, but I feel 5 a.m. work and this, I probably knock two birds out with one stone before I go to bed. So here it is. Hopefully I could edit the audio if it's too loud. So here we go.
I realize lately that it's very hard to talk about things anymore because there's a lot of people who are still laboring in the illusion of certain of these systems as if they are legitimate, and they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna interrupt her a lot because I feel, I'm gonna be doing this with whoever I'm watching. Anyways, yeah, she's so right. It's kind of insane how much people are just going about their day-to-day and just not worried about how insane it's getting out there.
You guys know who Brian Johnson is. He's a Silicon Valley guy who's doing a lot of science on himself. He's using himself as a health experiment to try to age in reverse. He's getting ready to have some kind of Netflix special about it. I guess he's going to do a religion based around it. He claims he's making a new moral framework for the world, which is a phrase that I can't take anybody seriously who talks like that. I'm making a new moral framework for the world. Like, okay, all right. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I've had thoughts like that, and I still kind of do in a way. But I feel ultimately, at the end of the day, like, my own personal philosophy is that we all got a choice, and we got to choose what we follow. And ultimately, if we do want to have this whole thing be Mad Max Fury Road, then that's up to us, like, who's to argue with us from just tearing each other apart. But I think it would be nice if if everybody was at least on the same page, So if we want to be angels on earth or just demons dwelling in the dirt, it would be nice to have some clarity on what we're doing.
Hey, to each his own, though. That's your spiritual situation. That's very personal to you. People make religions and cults all the time, every day, new ones. That's none of my business. It's not my thing, so whatever. But he gets promoted quite a bit in the X system, and I saw a post from him talking about all of that, but he prefaced it with this whole thing about the coming mass psychosis. Just that point right there, I think we do need to talk about for a second. And by a second, I mean this is probably going to be a really long video, so I hope you have coffee like I do and you're ready to go. He says that there's...
No, I have been drinking, and yeah, if you just, watch the news for a little bit, she's right. It's mass psychosis. It's insane. And it's only getting worse. It's insane how much people are okay with it.
A real possibility in the coming years that society becomes dangerously psychotic. And he points to the fact that we have all these symptoms of record antidepressant usage and rising suicide rates, rampant addiction, global increases in anxiety disorders and loneliness epidemic and all of that. And that there really is an issue here involving human cognition and the evolution of human cognition, which evolved under conditions of a slow change. That
What's insane is how, like, obviously when you hear this dude speak and his messages, obviously he's intelligent. But what's insane is just, like, I'm pretty sure this is the same guy that takes blood from his son to try to stay younger and, like, live longer. Like, is that not insane? Like, yeah, we all want to live, like, a long time. A lot of us want to live a long time and, are terrified of death. As living beings, it's okay, but honestly, like, doing it with such unnatural means is insane. And taking, like, it's so funny that he's so observant of the current ailments of society, yet he'll also partake in the same behaviors that cause the ailments. Like, he's literally taking from the young just to prolong and, make sure that his quality of life is better. But, bro, that's what we're doing now. Like, with the money, with the natural resources, like, technically every resource on Earth is renewable. It's just they can't claim that it is because it's realistically, a lot of it's not renewable within even a species' lifetime. We could be an entirely different being if we live that long. Like, we're talking eons and upon eons of having recycled the material of plastic back into the earth to be, I don't know, gasoline again probably, but petrol, I should say, oil. But yeah, like, all the debt, everything, it's just taking from a future that we are increasingly not having because we keep taking from it. It's just so funny that this guy is just so smart, but, it's like he's nearsighted. It's insane.
the nervous system and the social architectures are shaped for a world that changes slowly over time, and that when things change faster than our native capacity, we lose coherence. The hippocampus binds the present to memory, and the prefrontal cortex constructs a coherent future. And when environments change too rapidly and the map no longer matches the territory, the brain destabilizes.
Yeah, anybody been watching online rhetoric and people speaking about current times, it's that one quote. It's like, we're caveman brain with godly technology and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like, we're so behind, it's insane. And things, they only seem to be getting faster, unfortunately.
This could trigger a cognitive dissonance cascade where our core beliefs are invalidated so rapidly we lose narrative coherence, and when feedback loops in an organism can't stabilize, the system will oscillate until it breaks.
Yup.
And that he feels that civilization is entering an oscillatory phase. And I said, I've been talking about this for years, but not in this clearly. I mean, he was able to say all of that in a few sentences and things that I've been trying to talk about in videos that have taken me a long time to express. Like, I put it a different way on X. I asked people, like, what would happen if we all...
And she's talking about, like, how she's not able to put that in words. But, bro, like, I've been online reading people and their thoughts, like, looking at their opinions, and you can actually see with all this expanded discourse that people are becoming more aware. Like, the veil of modernity and comfort has lifted to a kind of forced awareness and intellect, to where, you're kind of like kicked into overdrive to actually try to understand the whirlwind that's happening around you in hopes that you'll stop it. But it's insane because people are beginning to speak very well and, you know, coalesce their thoughts into an image that's very, very beautiful, honestly. It gives me hope, but, you know, obviously I'm not doing such a great job because I've been drinking, so.
All of us woke up tomorrow on an alien planet. And that's just how it was. You wake up, you're on a totally different planet, and that's just how it is. Not everybody would be able to handle that situation. Not everybody would be, oh, okay, well, I can assimilate to this. I can adjust to this and get used to it. Some people would freak out. Some people would completely lose whatever remaining shreds of their shit they had left. Which I think a lot of us can agree. I mean, if you look around out there, there's a lot of weirdness going on.
Across Texas tonight, we're learning new details about a brawl at a Starbucks outside of Houston. Harris County Precinct 4 post.
Bro, I have no idea what's going on with it. It's like about the glass bear cups. Starbucks was my first job, and it didn't used to be this crazy. Like, obviously we would sell out of shit very fast, like the cups and the trinkets and all that. It would go very fast, but it was never, like, it was insane how fast it went. Like, the consumerism was kind of disgusting, but this is just like, it's like animals just killing each other for glass. Like, it literally, like, me and my sister were talking about this, and we're just like, bro, we could, like, the price that they were selling these glass bottles for is insane, because you could literally just hire somebody, show them a price tag, like, tell them you'll pay for all the materials if they just do the labor, and we could split the cost. We'll be up so much, and it's insane because they're just stupid glass bears, and people are going insane for them. It's honestly disgusting.
About it on Facebook. Several people were fighting inside a Starbucks and refused to leave the store. It was all over these brand new Starbucks Barista cups that were just released this morning.
Like, you think people would rather, like, instead of all the effort that it would go into being violent towards somebody, that they would just actually, you know, pick up the skill of glass blowing, which, by the way, is a very much endangered skill and is very needed, which I get it's hard and it doesn't pay well, but holy shit, bro.
I think people are handling the reality we're in changing as fast as it is right now very well. There are images that certain people need in order to make their reality make sense to themselves. And they are dependent on those images for their reality to make sense. And when those images start to break down, those people are going to break down too. And I think we're already seeing some of that happen with the political system. Some of the stuff that's going on is asinine. It's absolutely, I don't know how anyone is still taking it seriously at all in any way. I don't. It's such a Shakespearean, all the world's a stage circus show. I don't understand how there are people out there. It's like they've just been doing it for so long. They just keep talking about it and doing commentary on it. It's like, do you realize what it is you're talking about? The level of ridiculous nonsense that this has become, and you're still talking about it as if it's official. It still has that official veneer. It's maybe because they don't know what else to do.
God, does anybody else feel like this is actually, like, real? I don't. Honestly, this shit hasn't been real since I was young. Like, I think the first Obama campaign, but after that, you know, learning a bit about history and how things work, it's just like, holy shit, this is like a puppet show, literally, you know. But yeah, I've never ever picked a side, really. I always figured everybody was horrible because, you know, my life was horrible. Not really, but it wasn't great, and a lot of the things could be attributed to bad management of a country and economy, obviously. But yeah, puppet show.
Oh, But the illusion is so thin at this point that I'm not sure how anybody is left who can't see through it. The veils have all been torn down pretty hard. But there are people who are going to hold on to that no matter how insane it gets. They're going to try to keep holding on to it. And it's pretty obvious that all of this is being destroyed very purposefully. Like, this is not... We haven't organically been led to this point. Nothing's been organic since at least 9/11.
Not real. You are? Is any of it real? I mean, look at this. Look at it! Synthetic emotions in the form of pills, psychological warfare in the form of...
This is like a movie clip. I don't know where it's from, but if somebody could tell me, that would be cool. Just let me know. It looks interesting considering what's being spoken.
Advertise mind-altering chemicals in the form of food, brainwashing seminars in the form of media, isolated bubbles in the form of social networks. Real? You want to talk about reality? We haven't lived in anything remotely close to it since the turn of the century.
What's really funny to me, though, is usually when I see those, I'm like, how did... You know, the people that control that industry and all the media and stuff, like, how'd they let that message get through? Like, it's so weird how, like, how entertainment is so self-snitching. Like, they get a kick off of it. It's kind of sick, but it's weird. Like, me, personally, if I was the bad guy and I was in power, would not let that shit slide. I'd be like, what are you doing telling them my game plan? That's crazy.
Everything has been very strategic about the transformation of this society into a very surveillance-based, data-based, surveillance-based, we spy on ourselves, society as we continue forward. And this Brian Johnson guy is saying that this is happening, all these symptoms we're seeing with all these negative psychological symptoms especially are all biomarkers of a species whose cognitive environment has outpaced its biology. I can't speak to that, but
And what's funny is, like technically it hasn't. Like, we could just slow down. We all could just, like, slow down. It's just fear, you know? This animalistic fear that's just driving everybody to just fucking, oh, I gotta speed up because my enemies will speed up. If I lag behind, they'll outpace me. Like, reality is, especially here in America, like, we're so far behind in so many categories. It's kind of like we're clawing for what? They're not even in the race anymore. They're at home chilling, and we're still crawling, trying to get to the finish line. Like, bro, stop, take a breath. Let's figure things out. It's insane. It's so insane that you could have the richest, strongest country in the world just crawling while everybody's just chilling. Or at least that's what it seems like. Also, she touched on something. Hold on. Let me see really quick.
very surveillance-based, data-based, surveillance-based, we spy on ourselves.
Yeah, there you go. We spy on ourselves. That's what's really funny is, like, especially here in America, like, the surveillance state, that, like, we're all just fucking people. Like, just think about that. We all have, it's obvious if you spend enough time online that we all have a lot of shared living experiences, you know. Life is actually more mundane and similar than different nowadays, but it's crazy that we live in a place to where we just spy on each other. For what? Like, literally live in an age of just cowardice. And you're just like, oh, I'm scared. I'm scared of the guy because I'm scared of myself, because I know myself, because I'm scared and I'm horrible and I imagine they're just as horrible. It's like, bro, chill. Chill, dude, chill. Let's go build something that will last 1,000 years. I bet you'll chill out from that after that. Like, I don't know. Let's go do some good in the world. You wouldn't be so afraid. Or maybe learn, I don't know, astrophysics. Because after that, like, learning about the cosmos and how easily that this shit could just stop at any moment and just get wiped out. Nobody have an idea. No warning signs or nothing. Just fucking look up quasars. But yeah, like, you figure all this little bullshit is really not worth freaking out over. It's people need more perspective, I guess.
Internet with this promise of us connecting to each other. This was all about humanity connecting to humanity on this internet. And now that internet has been completely invaded by artificial intelligence in a very blatant and obvious way. Yep. I'm not saying it hasn't been here the whole time. I'm just saying it was never like this before. There was a time when this felt more like the wild, wild west, and come on and make your blog and everyone can share and we...
Oh my God. If this is like a future thing that does end up going up and you're like born before, fuck, I forgot what it was called, but it happened, I think with Obama. There's like something about the democratization of the internet or something. People were very upset that it happened. It kind of got rid of the wild west of the internet, made it more constrained. And bro, like, that internet, it had its issues. Like, the sites that you could access were insane, but also the authenticity and the wonder that you would have when you would browse the internet was insane. It was crazy. It was dope. Like, oh my God, it was such a different era. It was literally the Wild West because you didn't know what would happen, but it was cool.
And talk to each other, and now it's all completely invaded by bots and AI in a way that there is more traffic now. They said this year is now more traffic on this internet is bots than humans, and it's largely being driven by the artificial intelligence. So while everyone's arguing with each other about immigration on the physical ground out there, they've intermeshed our reality in this internet space that has been completely invaded by essentially an alien intelligence. Because they got all of us on here. They got us to share everything and all our art and all our knowledge and all our feelings and thoughts and all this stuff with each other. And then all of that has been used to feed this AI. And now the AI is more prevalent on this than we are. And if you are on a social media platform in 2025 at all, you're interacting with AI and you probably don't even know it. And it's not about just keeping people's attention anymore. This has gotten very psychological now. I mean, some of these things that they're asking about are things like, what was the movie that traumatized you most as a child? Like, you want to give that key to your mental castle to the AI? Is that what...
Facts, yeah. I feel AI is such a weird subject, honestly. I feel that AI should just be used as it was advertised in the beginning, as a tool, and maybe a tool to, help all of humanity. Not take the creativity out of it. It's insane. Like, the greed is sickening. Like, imagine penny pinching a fucking stick man. Ugh. Instead of researching, like, life-saving medicine or, what I think is most important and that we should focus on with AI is cracking fusion, because then electricity wouldn't really be much of an issue up until the thorium becomes an issue, but that will be a long time from now. But yeah, like, AI, using it for good research purposes and modeling stuff at the speed of light, like, it'd be so easy to just figure shit out if we all just got on the same page. We progress so fast, but no, we let it mine our minds and our souls for fucking what? More data, more ways for these soulless demons to just penny pinch get every speck of value out of us that they don't see when they look in our eyes. Like, it's insane. Ugh.
You want to do, and people they're just answering that question like, that's fine, I'm sure that won't be used in I'm sure that's not a piece of information about myself that can be used in a very weaponized way against me later. That'll be fine. There's no problem giving that up. Like, wow. And I'm not even saying that from a position of superiority, by the way, or anything, because last year I definitely had an interaction with something that I'm pretty sure at this point was AI, and I didn't know it at the time. So I've been had just like everyone in this system.
Yep.
But now we're to a point where the artificial intelligence deep fakes are being used to trigger people into some of the most dehumanizing behavior on this internet. The most recent case that I've seen had to do with the food stamps being shut down, and everyone started fighting with each other over the food stamp situation, as if that's the biggest issue right now with this completely financially unaccountable Leviathan, blood funnel sucking octopus leash government that we have. Like that's the issue, right? Is people eating. Like, that's the one that we really need to fight with each other over. Not the billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that are going to foreign countries for all kinds of who even knows what. Not the fact that it cannot pass audits. None of these agencies, hardly any of them, can pass audits. None of these.
Granted, I feel like them not passing audits wouldn't be much of an issue if we all could just survive. If we could all just survive long enough and be comfortable enough to ignore it. Like, who would really... I didn't used to care when I was growing up. Like, I used to hear that all the time. Oh, the Pentagon didn't pass another audit. Oh, the FBI didn't pass an audit. Like, honestly, bro, like, if they're doing their job, which we think that they're doing, or they're supposed to be doing, who cares how much it takes, you know? Like, at the end of the day, they're not doing their job, though. Like, it's made up of people that are our neighbors not doing their job. The social contract is broken. And that's the main issue. That's the issue right there. Is like, where the fuck is this money going? You're buying Lamborghinis, you have Rolex watches, Audemars Piguet, like, you got a nice suit. Cool, bro. Like, can you do your fucking job? You could keep it if you could do your job. It's just insane that that's the bare minimum now. Is do your fucking job. Do what your position entails. You're a general, make sure we're safe. Your FBI, make sure that the homeland is secured on the inside without ruining people's lives and trampling on their constitutional rights. If you're CIA, you know, try not to depose as many governments. I mean, we have a long history of that. Maybe just kind of chill out on that, actually. Only the ones that are, like, actively trying to get us. But, yeah, like, that's the main issue, is nobody's doing their fucking job. The money's not an issue. It's like, we're all supposed to be taking care of each other, and everybody's just selfish. That's the issue.
Treasury reports that have been put out for the last, 30 years have passed muster in the Government Accountability Office. None of it. But we're going to fight with each other over food in an environment where no one can afford anything, and even our active duty military at the low end don't make enough money to afford to eat. That's why they get food stamps. That's why we have active duty military who are on food stamps, because people can't afford basic living in this society. It has gotten to a point where large portions of whole generations have given up on it. We have a whole segment of a couple generations above mine that don't seem to even care at all about the future in any way. They don't care. They don't care what happens after they leave here. They're just trying to make it through the rest of their life and be done. They are totally divested from the future altogether, and they don't give a shit.
Nope.
And then there's a whole group of generations beneath mine that also are completely divested for opposite reasons, because there's a broken social contract that does nothing for them. It gives them no...
And what's funny about that is that while I was growing up, I'm like older Gen Z. I was 99. That's my year. But growing up, I was told that like climate change and the lack of social security. Like they knew. I was in grade school, bro. I was in elementary school, and they were telling us this shit in like 5th grade, 4th grade. Like that's gonna be our issues to solve. And it's kind of fucked up because realistically they had the power to change it then. Like they could have made the moves, but nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared about us. It's actually fucking insane how crazy that is for teachers to be telling children that. And I don't blame them, because at least like I've always been like watchful of that since I was told that. And I've always had the spirit of like, yeah, we do have to do something. And like me, I kind of checked out after that. My teenager years weren't the best. But, you know, I'm an adult now. And sooner or later, we're all going to be like, eventually we're going to be the only ones in charge. You know, we're going to be in charge of all these people younger than us. At some point, that's going to happen. And I think now we have to take the steps to actually ensure that there are younger people to take care of and that they have something, because, you know, Gen Z, we know the pain of not having anything, you know, like, can't let them have that. We can't pass them shit. Like, we already got that. Who wants secondhand shit? But honestly, we also have to let them know that they can't commit the sins of the people that did this to us. How we do that, I don't know. We got to start some traditional practice, probably, of instilling that into people. But, you know, that's once we start getting things rolling, I feel like that's when we have that conversation. But yeah, Gen Z, like, we need a buck up right now. This is our time, unfortunately. I'm 26. Dear God, like, I'm getting old, and I feel like I'm wasting so much time. But I'm trying to do something, trying to help any way I can. I'm just a guy. I'm just a fucking loser dude.
Buy in. They have no reason to care. They have no reason to care about what's going on. They can barely function right now. They're not having children because they can't afford basic life. Even if they had a kid, they wouldn't know what to tell that kid to do in this world, because the whole society itself is breaking down right now. I've never read about a time like this in history where because usually the older generations are all about passing down their wisdom and wanting the future to be better for the next generation than themselves.
What's funny is like I think I had this discussion with my siblings, but my parents, or at least my mother, would reference the Bible. I was like, oh, you know, honor thy father and thy mother. And it came, like, the thought came to me, like, I think a month ago. Like, that sentence came back into my mind, and I was just like, well, yeah, obviously honor them. They're taking care of you and they love you. Like, why wouldn't you? And it's so funny that used to be the default. You know, that statement was so heavy and so, like, of course you honor them because they care about you. But it's funny to see now that actually it's like nobody honors anybody because nobody cares about each other. And that's so funny. Like, we used to respect elders, show elders respect, and that's because, you know, you're supposed to respect them for the age that they lived and the wisdom that it took. And maybe they would instill that on you, and they would show you the way of the world from the hard times that they had living in it. But, you know, like, it's so funny. Like, parents don't love their children anymore. Grandparents don't give a fuck about anybody. Like, it's funny. It's funny how, like, such, like, duh, of course you honor them because they love you and they care for you. It's like, well, that's not true anymore. It's so funny how things have changed. Like, it's kind of sad. It's really sad, actually.
Don't have that right now in large portions. And I'm not saying, don't get offended. People, like, older people listen to my videos and they get offended. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about these other people that they've actually done polls, and these people don't care. They don't care.
Nope.
But then there's a whole younger generation who also has never been given a reason to care. So it's like whole segments of our society have not been given any kind of reason to care about our future as a human race. When you put all of that together, I mean, there's a whole probably generation of missing people beneath our generation, my generation. They don't even exist. They just weren't.
I'm pretty sure I've seen one of her videos a while back, but I don't remember who this lady is. I will do more research on her after this video is done, but I don't know what she's talking about when she says this. Like, if she's Gen Z as well, like, that's kind of true. That makes sense. But also at the same time, it doesn't. I don't know. Missing people, I'll probably, like, I don't know. I keep interrupting. Maybe she'll say it or whatever, but, you know, I'll have to figure out what she means by that.
Born. And it's not just because of abortions. It's because people couldn't afford basic ass life.
Facts.
So if they can't even afford for themselves, how are they going to afford for a child? So they're not having kids. So a whole bunch of people just didn't have kids. Plus they disconnected everybody from each other, you know, with all this technology. And of course, during COVID, we'll get to COVID in a minute. I got a lot to say about that, but that's what is really spurring on this new phase of everything right now is what happened then.
COVID was single-handedly the worst event in my entire life. Like, and if you know my history, like, that's crazy because some shit happened to me when I was younger, but, like, it's insane how much COVID ruined my fucking life. Like, I was young, I was working, I was able to have an apartment, I was doing my thing, like, I was trying to figure myself out while I had a girlfriend and blah, 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 you know, we had our own place, we were moving up. COVID hit, lost my job, broke up with my girlfriend because she ended up cheating on me, like, because, I don't know, I guess I was depressed because she was not really a great person, and, you know, when hard times come, it kind of shows more who that person is, and boy, did she show it. But yeah, I lost everything. I got homeless. Fucking had to go live back with my mom. We had issues. I was jobless for like an entire year, despite like trying super hard to find some sort of employment, you know. I was so low, I wanted to end it. And fucking, I ended up getting kicked out of my mom's place again, which is funny because that's why I had to move out in the first place to live with my girl that, you know, I probably shouldn't have, but given the circumstances, you know, that was the best option. I lost it all. I was homeless for a while. It's funny. It's crazy. COVID sucked. And just seeing the effect that it has on today is still, like, yeah. I was able to afford an apartment back on a salary that I got back in 2024. Bro, you can't afford shit on that now. It's insane. Same salary 4 years later. Couldn't even afford to pay half my bills. Like, dear God, what have we done?
But so we just have whole segments of society that are not really connected because everything's being torn down to make way for whatever the new thing is going to be, but no one knows what that is yet because no honest conversations are being had right now about any of what's going on.
Facts.
We're not being told the honest truth about anything. And that should be pretty clear to everyone at this point. I mean, when you have people like Bill Gates coming out, suddenly being like, oh yeah, sure, climate change is going to be fine. It's not going to be a big deal. After years of investing and all that.
Yeah, investing. Look up how much real estate that man owns. It's absolutely disgusting. Also, look up how much China owns. And also how much, just in general, how much foreign land in America, or how much land is owned by foreign interest or business or whatever, you know. And whatever number pops up, just know it's more because they hide a lot of their deals behind shell companies. is absolutely disgusting. Also, look up what they're doing to our farmers. It's fucked up.
Green propaganda scaremongering. Now all of a sudden it's fine.
Bill Gates has finally admitted that climate doomerism is a mistake. After years of saying stuff